to shot it. Squares it into the box.
It's time for sports' biggest moments
on global television.
The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the AM News on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has met with his South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, for diplomatic, economic and bilateral talks. Following a successful presidential inauguration ceremony, Tinubu revealed that their discussions followed on enhancing cooperation and strengthening economic ties between Nigeria and South Africa. The president said they resolved to address their country's challenges through robust trade and economic strategies. Back home, Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission says it has commenced the process of conducting local government elections in the state. This is contained in a public notice signed by the Chairman and Chief Electoral Commissioner, Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, retired Justice Adolphus Enebeli. The announcement is coming barely 24 hours after the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, while swearing in caretaker committee chairman for the 23 local government councils, said their tenure will not be long as the local government election will be held soon. In a similar development, Chairman of Imo State Independent Electoral Commission, Charles Ejiogu, says the local government election will take place on September 21st across 305 wards and 4,758 polling units in the state. He stated this during a stakeholders meeting held in Owerri, Imo State capital. Ejiogu said the stakeholders' engagement is meant to show determination to deepen democratic governance at the grassroots level in the state. A federal high court sitting in Kano has nullified all actions taken by the state government after passage and signing of the 2024 Emirates Council law. One of the actions was the reinstatement of Sanusi Lamido Sanusi as emir. The presiding judge, Justice Abdullahi Liman, while delivering his ruling, said the catastrophic situation could have been averted if the respondents followed due processes by complying with the court order, which would still have allowed them to carry out the assignments. He stated that the respondents, however, decided to act according to their whims and caprices, a situation which he noted had landed them in a complicated situation. An Ondo State High Court sitting in Akure, the state capital, has nullified the 33 local council development areas in the state. The court described the LCDAs, which were created by the immediate former governor of the state, late Rotimi Akeredolu, as illegal and unlawful. In the judgment delivered by Justice Adegboyega Adebusoye, the court said it was illegal for a governor to sign a law outside the state, adding that the Local Government Creation Law 2023 signed by late Governor Akeredolu in Ibadan outside the state was unconstitutional, illegal, null and void. The fighter aircraft acquired by the Nigerian Army is expected to arrive in the country today. The exact number of arriving aircraft is not yet known, but the group is the first of its kind expected in the country. The aircraft is expected to be inaugurated immediately for operational use. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says the management of the force will not allow untrainable and person of questionable character be recruited into the police force. Egbetokun made the revelation while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on the sideline of a conference with commissioners of police and other senior officers of the force. Sharon Ajay has details.
Speaking on the controversy over the recruitment of constable and the allegations by the Police Service Commission (PSC), the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, maintained that the Nigerian police force is a specialized institution that is not meant for all Nigerians.
He cannot sit down and look on and see how recruitment into the police force is anyhow. He cannot afford to disappoint the officers and men that he's leading. We are doing everything possible to make sure that qualified and trainable individuals are recruited into the police.
The police boss also directed the continuation of the police barricade on all local government secretariats in Rivers State to prevent a breakdown of law and order.
This issue, you are all aware, is in court. The police will wait for the outcome of the court case. Whatever the court decides is what the police is going to do. Yes, we have our men barricading the secretariats as at now. We are doing that to prevent breakdown of law and order in that state.
He added that the police will continue to occupy the secretariat until a court of competent jurisdiction delivers judgment on the local government crisis in Rivers State. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
As the nation awaits President Bola Tinubu's executive bill on new minimum wage to the National Assembly, a host of states may need a bailout or retrench workers to be able to pay the 62,000 naira being proposed by the federal government and organized private sector. Although most of the states have been getting more allocations since the removal of fuel subsidy in May 2023, the increment is reportedly insufficient to sustain payment to 62,000 naira minimum wage. Meanwhile, the organized private sector says there is nothing like agreement in the just concluded meeting of the tripartite committee on the new national minimum wage, but an alignment of interests. Nigeria and the Space Exploration and Research Agency from Delaware, USA, have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at sending the first Nigerian to space. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naji, said at the signing ceremony in Abuja that human space flight is a major aspiration of Nigeria. Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, says the center is considering declaring a state of emergency on cholera if cases recorded go beyond manageable threshold. Jide said this during the Adetokunbo Alakija Memorial Travel Medicine Lecture held in Lagos, organized by the Nigerian Society of Travel Medicine. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention boss insisted that subject to the data that would be obtained from all partners involved in the assessment, the health authorities may call it an emergency situation if recorded cases have exceeded a particular threshold. Lagos State government says the number of deaths from cholera outbreak in the state has increased from 15 to 21, while infections increased to 401 from 350. The special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi, said the rise in cases was anticipated following the Eid al-Kabir celebration, in which large gatherings occurred. The Kaduna State government has given assurance that Almajiri children in the state will be given qualitative educational opportunities. Also, the government said about 25,000 school pupils spread across the 23 local councils of the state have already benefited from the school feeding program, which cost the government 4 billion naira. The assurance came from the special assistant to Governor Ubasani on the school feeding program, Dr. Fauzia Buhari-Ado in a statement made available in Abuja. You're watching the Global AM News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When AM News returns, Storm Alberto claims lies in Mexico and drenches U.S. coast. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments
on global television.
The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more. All on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet events to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung and Emil Joseph on Global Television.
Time check. It's midday.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the AM News. On the foreign scene, at least 35 people have died after consuming toxic bootleg alcohol in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. The incident took place in Kalakuruchi district, where several residents fell ill after consuming the liquor. At least 80 people are being treated in hospitals for illnesses such as excessive diarrhea, and officials say the death toll could rise further. 2 people have been arrested so far, and a wider investigation has begun. 3 people have died after the Mexican coast was hit by the first named storm of the North Atlantic hurricane season, which is also drenching southern Texas with heavy rain. Storm Alberto is threatening both countries with coastal flooding and high winds, says the U.S. National Hurricane Center. Officials in Mexico say the 3 deaths occurred in the northern Nuevo Leon state. At least 2 were minors. India's Financial Intelligence Unit has imposed a fine of $2.25 million, 188.2 million rupees on Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, for operating in the country without registering with the agency as required by law. The Indian authorities say Binance, as a registered entity in the country, violated 3 sections of the country's Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Away from Asia, Israeli forces have pounded areas in the central Gaza Strip overnight, killing 3 people and wounding dozens of others. According to medics, while tanks deepened their invasion into Rafah in the south, health officials say Israeli planes struck a house at Al-Nusayrat camp, killing 2 people and wounding 12 others, while tanks shelled areas in Al-Maghazi and Al-Barej camps, wounding many other people. Nusayrat, Maghazi, and Burej are 3 of Gaza's 8 historic refugee camps. The leaders of Vietnam and Russia say they want to boost ties as the pair met in Vietnamese capital of Hanoi. Vietnamese President Tu Lam was full of praise for his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, congratulating him on his recent election. Putin, on his part, said strengthening a strategic partnership with the Southeast Asian country was one of Russia's priorities. In a significant move to enhance Nigeria's oil and gas production, the NNPC Total Energies JV has announced a $550 million final investment decision for the Ubete Field Development Project. This milestone, according to NNPC, aligns with President Bola Tinubu's presidential executive order on oil and gas reforms designed to improve the investment climate and position Nigeria as the premier investment destination for the oil and gas sector in Africa. Binance executive Tingran Gambaryan has called on the Federal High Court Abuja to award costs against the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over his prolonged detention in Nigeria. In the suit, as announced before the court by his lawyer Tonye Krukrubo, Gambaryan proposed to amend the originating motion for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. The Nigeria Customs Service has reiterated its commitment to focus on blocking all leakages to generate more revenue for government while tackling smuggling of arms and ammunition into the country. Kiki Alomo-Okere reports that Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi stated this while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the service in the last 1 year.
Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi says, in order to reduce illegalities and clearance at all ports, his administration is setting up a technical working group to work with Ministry of Finance at the port so as to intensify its anti-smuggling efforts. He says the service has so far recorded 63 seizures related to animals and wildlife products valued at 566 million naira. While 7 seizures of arms and ammunition were made through the port and borders. In terms of illicit drugs, the Comptroller General says a combined total of 127 cases involving narcotic and pharmaceutical products were seized, valued at over 6 billion naira.
Similarly, intercepting the entry of arms and ammunition is crucial in preventing the worsening of our national security situation. Unchecked smuggling of prohibited items not only fuels illegal activities, but also strengthens unscrupulous individuals who seek to destabilize the peace, security, and prosperity of our country.
He further stated that the service in the year under review recorded 724 seizures of 2.93 million liters of petroleum motor spirit that were attempted to be smuggled out of the country.
The illegal dealings in petroleum evacuation have garnered the interest of relevant stakeholders, and the ongoing Operation Whirlwind will continue to intercept and disrupt the activities of smugglers in this regard.
He, however, expressed happiness that despite the seizures, the service revenue increased by 74% to 4.49 trillion naira between June 2023 and May 2024 when compared to what the service collected during the same period in the previous year. Kiki Alomo-Okere, Global Television News.
The average price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, rose by 223.21% to approximately 770 naira per litre in May 2024 from 238.11 naira per litre recorded in the corresponding period of 2023. The National Bureau of Statistics made this known in its report, Premium Motor Spirit Petrol Price Watch for May 2024. The report stated that on a month-on-month basis, an increase of 9.75% was recorded from 701.24 naira per litre in April 2024. Now, fewer than 3 million poor and vulnerable households have benefited from the $800 million palliative loan disbursed by the World Bank to cushion the effect of recent government policies. Of these beneficiaries, 7,000 households were from rural areas and about 2.5 million households were from urban areas. The World Bank revealed this in its restructuring paper on how to bolster its social safety net programs amidst rising inflation and economic challenges. In sports, Arsenal remain interested in signing Victor Osimhen, but they are unwilling to meet his €120 million release clause set by Napoli. Osimhen continues to be highly regarded as one of the top strikers in Europe, and Napoli set the release clause to protect his market value, anticipating high demand this summer. The striker has agreed with Napoli that he can leave if a suitable offer arises, and he is now waiting for potential clubs to make their move. Arsenal is in search of a new striker, viewing Osimhen as a strong candidate after the failed attempt to sign Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. The head of the Serbian Football Association threatened to pull the team out if the European Championship overchance made during the draw between Albania and Croatia. Jovan Sobatovic, the General Secretary of the Football Association of Serbia, told Serbian broadcaster the country demanded action from authorities over remarks made during the match, including the chant, "Kill the Serb." Former Chelsea, Tottenham and Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho would be interested in bringing Romelu Lukaku to Fenerbahce this summer. Lukaku was talk of the town during Belgium's loss to Slovakia, and the striker's future is set to be defined, with Chelsea looking to move him on in the summer. It is believed there is interest from the Middle East. Antonio Conte is keen on signing the player at Napoli, and he wants to make him the center of his project. Olympic-bound Nigerian star Aruna Quadri continued his upward trajectory in the latest men's global rankings released. In the latest ratings, Quadri moved up one place to 16th position, amassing a total of 1,280 points. The 35-year-old was one of the high-profile names expected to light up the World Table Tennis Series, Lagos 2024, but injury has ruled him out of the tournament. Under fire, Croatia coach Zlatko Dalic hit out at his critics on Thursday after the Euro 2024 draw with Albania, saying that when his team are successful, he means nothing. Croatia are in danger of a surprise group stage exit from tournament after losing 3-0 to Spain and then conceding a 95th minute equalizer to be held 2-2 by Albania. They will likely need to beat Italy in the final Group B match on Monday to reach the last 16 for a fifth straight major final. And that's it on the Global AM News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on